Hello zusammen, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all having an awesome day so far. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about all of the things I didn't even know existed before I moved to Germany. So these are things that I had no idea about for like 27 years of my life, and then I moved to Germany and I am learning all of these things. So I wanted to share it with you guys because this is one of my favorite things about traveling, living in a new country, is just learning about the culture, learning about, new foods and new ways that things are done. So for those of you who are planning to move here, or you just got here and you're trying to figure it out, I hope that this helps you out. So let's get started. The first one is super cute, and I wish I had this when I was growing up, and it is a SCHULTÜTE, or a school cone. And this is something that is given to first graders on their first day of school, and it's supposed to mark their transition from kindergarten over to elementary school, which is the first grade here in Germany. And it is filled with school supplies, candy, and also just like little toys that they can play with at school. I think that this is such a cute concept, and again, I wish I had this growing up. It's really cute because the parents decorate the little cones. You can even buy some that are already decorated on the outside, and it's just a really cute tradition. I've started to see the school supply stores around me sell them, and I never knew about this before moving here, and somebody told me about it and they asked if I had it in my country, and I was like, no. Here are the cones. You can even get Minion ones, Spider-Man. Which one would I get? I would have probably wanted this unicorn. Uno, I would have definitely gotten the Star Wars. I would get that now. There you see my first school day. Do you guys have this in your country if you're not from Germany? As far as I know, it is a very German thing, but maybe in your country there's something similar that is done. In Canada, we don't have that at all. So I'm gonna switch it up from really cute childhood traditions to boring adult things, and we're gonna talk about TV tax. Super boring, nobody wants to pay it, but it's something that you have to do if you are moving here and living here. So TV tax is something that all households have to pay, and the fees that are gathered from this tax go towards supporting the public broadcasting industry here. Now I know that we have a similar tax placed on Canadians back home, but this is factored into the taxes that you pay throughout the whole year, and it's not billed out separately. Whereas in Germany, you will get a very lovely letter every single month saying that you have to pay this tax. Now, if you don't pay the tax, the letters will start to build up month over month, and you will get charged interest. And I don't want you guys to get this because it absolutely sucks. You cannot walk away from this tax. You absolutely have to pay it. And based on stories that I've heard from friends and colleagues who haven't paid this tax, you will get a final letter that is quite scary. And when translated from German to English, it actually says something along the lines of, if you do not pay, we will send somebody to come to your door and take the money from you. So definitely avoid this. I don't think anybody wants some big scary government person coming to your door asking for tax money. I'm gonna talk about one more boring adult thing that I had no idea about that I needed, and it is third-party liability insurance. This is something that is mandatory by German law, and it's not something that is required back home, but in true German format, they are all about insurance, and definitely you want to get this because if you don't have it, you will be paying very high fines and you can get into big trouble. So essentially, third-party liability insurance will cover you in the event that you are negligent. Maybe you damage people's property, maybe you're in a store and you knock over something and it breaks, then you have insurance to cover you in this case, or if you are crossing the street when you're not supposed to, or you accidentally walk into the bike lane and somebody bumps into you. You never know what can happen, but if you don't have insurance, this will be a big issue and the courts will come after you and you will most definitely lose because again, it is mandatory by law. And I never really knew I needed this until I moved here, but everyone was like, you better get this, it's extremely important. So I just want to mention it. And that was the last boring adult thing that I wanted to talk about. All right, so let's make it fun again. Let's talk about some food. And these are foods that are quite unique to Germany. And again, I never had or heard about before I moved here. So one of the first things that has quickly become my favorite is WEINSCHORLE and APFELSCHORLE. And this is essentially where you mix mineral water or sparkly water with wine, or you can have it in a juice. So typically the most popular wines are WEINSCHORLE, which is wine plus this sparkly water. And then there's APFELSCHORLE, which is apple juice with the sparkly water. This is awesome. It's a super refreshing drink and it's something that has quickly become my favorite thing. If I am out just walking in the streets, I will most likely have an APFELSCHORLE in hand. I love it and it's like the perfect drink for summer. And then if I go to a beer garden, then typically WEINSCHORLE is my thing that I get. Keep in mind that they do use quite a lot of wine, so although it tastes super refreshing, it can hit you really fast, so be careful. I'm talking from personal experience here. Yeah, just be careful with this. Don't ask, just listen. Now, something that I find kind of gross that people eat is raw pork, and this is very, very popular here. And essentially you can just buy this. It's uncooked raw pork and it's very common to eat this on sliced bread with onions on top. I've never tried it, I've seen it and it kind of grosses me out, but don't be surprised if you see this type of food. Raw meats are very, very popular here. I've even seen pictures where people have this at like parties and they make the raw meat into little hedgehogs and they put pretzels in it and it's like a snack. Very interesting, but definitely very unique to Germany. Another food that's very popular, especially in Berlin, and it's quite famous here, is DÖNER kebabs. And I never really heard much about this. I was more familiar with like shawarmas and falafels, but döners are the Turkish version that have been made very, very popular in Berlin, and essentially it is thinly sliced meat that is from a rotating spit and it's put into a pita, and apparently it's really, really good. Berlin has the best ones. I can definitely leave some recommendations of ones that people say are amazing, but this is a really popular food to have, especially after a night out of drinking or, you know, partying. Usually there's so many stands all over Berlin where you can go ahead and grab a döner. And the last two things I wanted to talk about are some holidays that are completely new to me. The first one is the May 1st holiday, and this is the International Workers' Day. And in Berlin, this is an amazing day because pretty much the whole city is out. It's like one big party. There's streets that are shut down and there's rallies. There's gatherings for workers' rights. People are out partying. People are out chilling at the park. They have like cocktail stands throughout the whole city. We don't have this back home. Back home we have Labor Day and that happens in September, but it's a very chill holiday. It's mostly, you know, about taking the day off to relax, maybe having a barbecue with friends, but nothing like super crazy where there's protests and rallies and, you know, everybody is out partying. So that has been really cool to experience here. And then the last festival that I definitely have to experience at least once in my lifetime is KARNEVAL. I didn't know that this was a thing. I was only familiar with like the Brazilian Carnival, and yeah, we don't have this really back home, but here in Germany, it's a huge week-long celebration that happens in the middle of Germany and the northern regions, more specifically in the parts where Catholicism plays a big role in the country. And it's supposed to be a celebration before Lent starts. And from what I hear, it's like a crazy week-long party, especially in Cologne. That's where the biggest parade happens. They even show it on TV, and everyone is out dressed up in costumes. There's a parade, people are drinking all week long, and it just seems like a really fun time. And from the pictures that I've seen, it looks amazing. Even on our Facebook group, when Carnival happened this year, a lot of you posted pictures of you dressed up. There was like Star Wars characters and people dressed up as Trump and Merkel, and it just seemed like a lot of fun. So I definitely have to take part of this next year, hopefully. So yeah, if you're coming to Germany, you have to do this. It just seems like the best cultural experience, probably next to Oktoberfest too. So yeah, that is pretty much it for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know if you guys have ever had a school cone. I feel like I am missing out and I need to go and get one and get Josh to like fill it up for me with candy and stuff. It just seems like a really cute concept, and I feel like I was deprived of this in my childhood. But if you have this or you have something similar in your country, definitely let me know down below. And again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Tschüss!